here. Today's Wednesday, February 14th, 2024. Happy Valentine's Day. This has been a mixed week. We have gold down just a little bit. We've got silver up, platinum up, palladium up, gold and silver up for the 1 year time. Gold leads the way, up 9% since a year ago today. And we have a lot to talk about today, so I'll try to get this in here briefly in a way that's easy to follow. But I'm going to show a chart that shows the inversion of interest rates and recessions and how they go together and what we're looking at in the days and months ahead. As you see this curve, when it goes down below the zero mark, the yellow line there, that signifies the yield curve is inverted. And all that simply means is that short-term interest rates are higher than long-term interest rates. And that's not normal. If you think about it, normally if you tie your money up for a long time, you should get a higher interest rate than if you just tie it up a short time. And right now, that's not how it is. They've got short-term money for 1 month or 2 months is paying more than it would for 2 years or 10 years. That's not natural. And typically when that happens, within anywhere from 6 months to 18 months down the road, recession normally begins. On the chart, you can see a vertical gray band in different years, different places. Those gray bands are recessions. And you'll notice that each time before that recession, the yield curve inverted, and often it started back up into the recession. That's where we are right now. We've been inverted for a little over a year. So typically we've got just a few months and then recession starts. But what also is happening is we will see liquidity drained from the system. As that yield curve continues to steepen, that means that longer term yields are increasing in the interest rate. And that sucks money out of the short-term funding options and into longer-term treasuries. And what happens is that takes money away from being available to be invested in the stock market. So this is typically not a good time to, it's looking rather dark for the future of stocks. Now, what does that have to do with gold and silver? Well, I'm glad you asked. Some of the brightest minds, most successful investors on Wall Street are beginning to move into precious metals and in the direction of precious metals. Now, I say direction because unfortunately, not everyone is allowed to invest in physical metal. Some hedge funds and some investment vehicles are bound by their bylaws. They have to invest in equities or stocks. They can't just decide to buy metal, unlike you and I or many other governments. Governments are going deep into physical metal. But some of the brightest minds, I'm thinking of Stanley Druckenmiller. He's one of the most famous investors, has a great track record. He's been selling technology stocks and buying gold mine stocks. And the reason is to try to get some exposure to gold. And let's face it, gold mines are not going to make money from costs dropping right now. Inflation is affecting everything about mining. Fuel is high. The cost of equipment is high, expected to continue to be high. Cost of labor is continuing to rise. So they're not going to do well from costs lowering. The only opportunity they have is for the price of precious metals to come up. And I believe that's what many are seeing on Wall Street is that they see an opportunity surrounding precious metals. Now, oftentimes, the metal itself performs better than the mining sector. Sometimes not. Sometimes the mining sector will really outperform. But the point is people are beginning to move into precious metals in whatever way they can. And some can only buy stocks, and so they're going to buy stocks that are related to metal as a way to get some kind of exposure. Thankfully for you and I, we can choose to buy the metal directly, and that's what I recommend. And I've got some being shipped to me again this week because I believe in the future of precious metals. And so I hope that you'll be able to partake of that and be able to help protect you and your family as well. Thank you for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you again soon. God bless.